Welcome back to All Hands. The events of 2020 have magnified the need for diversity and inclusion in the workplace. It's becoming essential that brands and organizations seek outside counsel and advice in order to help bring businesses closer to the people they serve. Here to discuss the action items that businesses can take to promote inclusivity is Wesley Wilson, CEO of ColorCom, the nation's leading women's platform addressing diversity and inclusion across the communications industry. Great to have you back with us on the show today. So I do want to start by asking, how did the renewed conversations about racial injustice impact companies' focus on inclusion? And did you see more companies turn to ColorCom for help?
Absolutely. First, I want to say thank you so much for having me. It is so great to be here on the first day of Black History Month. And I know this month we're going to have an increased dialogue on hiring diverse talent across the workplace. So I'm really glad to be here in this capacity. Yes, what we saw over the summer is now being measured in this moment. What I think is the biggest difference is the accountability factor. So for many years, there's been conversations around companies saying, we need to diversify our leadership, we need to hire, we need to mentor, we need to make sure that this is a place to work. This is considered a place to work, an inclusive place to work for diverse talent. So folks have been putting together plans, and this has been in discussion for years. But I think what is happening is employees are saying, look, time is ticking. Let's make some changes now. There's some urgency around it, and there's no longer the time to have an excuse as it relates to hiring diverse talent.
Lauren, I love the word accountability. We use it a lot, we hear it a lot, especially when it comes to diversity and inclusion efforts. If you are the leaders of a company who feel like you are behind on diversity and inclusion, how do you go about setting up a system of accountability where you are empowering all of your employees, not just leadership, everybody across the ranks, to be able to hold the entire company accountable? How do you go about starting to build that?
First, you have to make a plan. I talk to so many HR leaders who want to make changes. And when I ask them, I say, what is your budget? What is your plan? What do you want to achieve next quarter? What do you want to achieve within a year? What do you want to achieve within 3 years? And if you can't answer those questions, then you're going to be back in the same place that you started. So it's really important to have a plan, to set dollars behind that plan, and then also to make sure that plan is measurable. ColorCom, for example, today we put out a list called the ColorCom 28. It is highlighting the most impactful and influential Black women in communications who are executive leaders. So oftentimes I hear, I don't know who's doing what position. I don't know where to find these rock stars. Go to ColorCom. That's one place to start. It's one organization to start in terms of talent in the communications, marketing, and advertising space. There are a number of groups out there. You have to do your homework. You have to do your research, partner on with those groups, see about their talent, their member base, because they're always looking for new opportunities. So this is the time to get smart, to do your homework, see what is out there, and make a plan of action.
Lauren, especially for companies in the media and communications space, Black History Month itself is a topic, is an event, is a month that they have to grapple with and how to address it and deal with it internally and externally. What is your advice as to how these companies should be addressing Black History Month so that it doesn't feel like they're doing it just as a one-off, just as this thing that they're doing because they have to?
Well, first of all, lean into Black History Month. It's on the calendar, and doesn't mean every company doesn't celebrate Black History Month in the way that they should, because it happens every year. So lean into it, celebrate this, acknowledge it. But what people don't want to see is performative action. What they want to see is a sustainable celebration, acknowledgement, recognition throughout the year. Bring new voices to the table that you may not be aware of. Bring new leadership ideas to the table that you may not have considered. So it's really about a long-term sustainable strategy effect that needs to be put into place.
All right, Lauren, great advice as always. We love having you on the show. That's Wesley Wilson, CEO of ColorCom. Thanks again, Lauren.